Hello, welcome to this exciting news show on Sattology on Sunday morning for me, Sunday, which is Sunday evening for most of you. Today, the show I'm going to do in English and then I'm going to repeat that in Hindi in the subsequent show. So, this is based on my research on Mahabharat, and today we are covering the topic of Gandhamadan mountains. Now, Gandhamadan is a if you look the Google search and you do where is Gandhamadan माउंटेन रेंजेस गंधमादन पर्वत कहाँ पर है अगर आप हिंदी में भी सर्च करना चाहें तो सर्च करके देख सकते हैं you will find many confusing information especially coming from Kora and some people will say it is in South India, some people say it's in Bihar, it's a small hill in Bihar, and I've covered this topic in detail in my book which is lying here, Pandavas, the famous five, because unless you understand the location of Gandhamadan mountain, you cannot see where is the where does the Pandavas birth happens. Because see, if you study the map of India, and I'm going to open the maps shortly. So Sattology, you all know, and since you're joining with me for a long time, that Sattology means science of truth, study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology. So don't use the word mythology for our Shastra. Don't use that because Ramayana Mahabharat has been proved. And this is my attempt. Like if you get this book, which is available in Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, get a physical copy because it has got a lot of references actually. So the mentioned here is Sachaitra Masadya Kalakutam Ititya Himavantam Atikramya Prayo Gandamadana. That's a Sanskrit which is I'm reading from my book. Rakshamano Mahabhute Siddhesha Paramarshibi Uvas sa Maharaj Sameshu Vishameshu cha Indra Dumna Sara Prapya Hansakuta Matitya cha Shatashringe Maharaj Tapasa Samatitya. So so Maharaj Pandu, when he wanted to he left Hastinapur, gave his kingdom to Maharaj Dhritarashtra and went towards north to set up an example for all of us. And I'll also cover in some other show also. Shrestha. For the Hindu community, the word Shrestha has been misused. Like the things which have been told to Hindu community that you cannot have a local leader. So they finished Brahmins, they finished Kshatriya. If you look at the Bollywood movies, and I can tell you so much Bollywood shows are going on and about boycott movies. Very accurately, I fully support them, all those movements which are going on, because these people have become the new British and Islamic invaders to India. They are using media to do that. Like, for example, they will show, they will have their own Shrestha. Shrestha means someone who can others can follow. So what they have done is they have all the Shrestha in the Hindu community, like Brahman, Kshatriya, they have shown them as villains in their movies. And these people have no ethics. They if you look at them, they are always enamored to come to the West. They will show they are in LA, they're in New York. I live here, I have so many years. And for me, the best places are Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, because I've seen this. And if you look at Americans, Americans love Rishikesh. If you look at majority of them, Americans, they would love to go to Rishikesh, Varanasi. They're not interested in Mumbai. They're not interested in any of the urban centers of India unless there is a business to do. But all these places like Kerala, these are all beautiful places for Americans. Something they cannot see in USA. The culture, like Varanasi, if you go, many of the Americans will take pictures with the cows. But the Indian crows, I call them new crows when they come to the West, all the Bollywood walas, they'll say, oh, they're going to LA and they're going to, God knows where they go. I have no idea because they don't even know where they're going. I personally don't like to even go to LA because it's too crowded for me and I don't like it personally. It's too much. I will prefer to be on a rickshaw in Jagannath Puri than to be in LA in a fancy car. So let me just talk to you about and I'm going to open the maps. Some of you want to see that, and I would like to show you also, but I'll keep it very short this time. And also from next time onwards, some of the members of the channel, YouTube channel, I'm going to invite them to participate to ask live questions on the show. So anyone who wants to volunteer, so become a member and send me a message on YouTube members if you want to join the show. Do that. Let me share my screen. All of them, I have already researched them, put them in books, and their books are my books are published. And this is the second show I'm doing on Pandavas, the famous five, and which is this is the book. And my other books are also available on. If you search Sattology on Amazon, you'll see all my books over there. Gold, Glory, and God, One Arrow, One Kill, and one more is coming out very shortly on Yoga Sutra. So all the yoga community who is joining us on our college shows as well as non-college shows can get that book. It will be out very shortly. It's I've been working on it, but the content is so much and so technical. I have to make sure that every single dotted line is checked. Okay? So there are many things which I cannot say on the YouTube shows are published in the books. So my books, whatever I speak, is just 5% of what I've published so far. So the if I look at that from the lower Himalaya, Maharaj Pandu crossed over the Nagashat mountain. Now Nagashat mountain, and then they entered Chaitrath forest, Chaitrath 1, and then they crossed Kalakut, and then they crossed the Himalaya mountain. Okay, so very like this is the path, and I have negated like 90. I have removed all other references gradually because if I do not do that kind of logical analysis, then I won't be able to see that. You know, so also for people who are joining from US, I'm going to show you that my books are also available. Same book is available in Barnes and Nobles also, which you can order it. And if you want me to, I'm planning to go to different Barnes and Nobles to set up the author's reading. So I'll be happy to do that for you and and check it out over there for yourself. So it shows just that the in my store is not available, but I checked in many places in San Diego, LA, New York, and Baltimore, and Florida. Last I checked was Miami. Many Barnes and Nobles are carrying my book in person, so you can get check it out. And once I start my book tour, I'll come to all those American cities and talk about my books in Barnes and Nobles. So, for coming to back to our topic for today, and I'm going to open my Google Earth. To Google Earth has been a very friendly tool, and what I have given in my books is a reference for you, so you can see what they describe. So one thing about Mahabharata is that Mahabharata is a very scientifically arranged book. So it's like one thing follows the other. It's never like it's never like it's not like you are just randomly uh, you know following in sequential, very intelligently put book together, महाभारत. So एक के बाद एक है उसके अंदर, एक के बाद एक. So ये जगह है, फिर इधर गए, फिर इधर गए, फिर इधर गए. So you have to know what is the starting point and where they reached. So like for example, I was looking at the map of India, the British India, and there was a map published of Mahabharat Kalin Bharat. If someone has anything, if you're chatting with me here, you can upload it. Just show me if that map you have, Mahabharat Kalin. I have not opened it here. I can search on the Google and I can show you, but it's not there right now here. So let me show you the. ma- Uh, Let me add here the screen here. Hold on. Why I do that with this? Uh, I've been doing this map thing, and I use in my books, and I'm doing it just so that you get a reference over there. Because when I am studying Mahabharat Ramayana, it is becomes very easy for me to reference anything with the if I follow the sequence of the shloka. So let me add the screen here. I have to still get used to Chrome. I don't use Chrome at all. Okay, so can you see my screen now? You can see my screen, which is on the side. Okay. just reply me here so that I know that you're able to see that. See, don't, like, I see so many videos which are coming out Bollywood. Do one thing, just watch the titles, and there's nothing more you're going to gain. Like, for example, I also support SSR movement, which is they are instrumental in bringing many people to justice. So thank you for all the people who are doing that, and also for all the people who are busy in regular politics who follow. That is also good. You need to be aware what's going on, but spend your quality time with your shastra, with your own history. Don't you no need to waste your time on somebody else's history. You see what I'm saying? Our identity is more important. And as my book is complete, I'm going to announce all the courses. I have planned 3 days a week. I'm going to take course, one session for different batches. So weekly course you can make it. So you can join each batch either on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday morning, and I'll be happy to have you in my sessions, 3 sessions, 3 different batches. So you will have 60 people in a week which can attend, or 75. I usually want 20 to 25 people per batch. So not less than that or not more than that. Anything more than that, the discussion doesn't happen. So the Nagashat, so from the lower Himalaya, they reach towards. Now watch my cursor, okay? And some of you are wondering where is Hanuman. Hanuman is a Kadali one. Kadali one is mentioned in detail in my book. Where did Hanuman meet Bhim? And that I have mentioned in detail in my book. But Gandhamadan mountain is the secret behind everything. The second thing which you should remember is Badrik Ashram. Badrik Ashram is pivotal. See, when people they talk about the geography, they, especially the British historians or people who follow the English translations of Mahabharat, they make the maximum mistakes, because the translator in English, English translator, not an Indian origin. See, I have come from a parampara. I don't misuse or miss. I don't say that I am greater than my guru. I say whatever they have said, I am researching on that. Uh, that is called swadhyay. If they have said something, like for example, Madhvacharya and all other acharyas said Lanka is in a different island. I research on that in my book One Arrow One Kill, or in India it's called Global Footprint of Ramayana. I have published that in the book. So that's how I make a research. It's called philosophical speculation, not mental speculation. Maybe this is there, maybe that is there, maybe this, maybe that. We don't do that. So therefore, some people they get offended. How are you so assertive? Like, why do I say things so confidently and so assertively? The reason I do that, because I'm just following a book, Mahabharat. And what is mentioned over there, I'm able to find that it is absolutely accurately mentioned, because I can see the direction which is going from Hastinapur. So we'll start from Hastinapur. So Hastinapur, if you all know, if you can you see my cursor, you can text me over there so you can know where I'm talking about. You know, so Hastinapur is here. Let me just make it center and little down. Because since we'll be here, so I'm going to make little zoom out, and we'll just focus here, because we'll keep the Meru Parvat and Hastinapur. Hastinapur is here, and Meru Parvat is here, and Haryana Rohtak is somewhere here. Rohtak, Ujjain. You know? So if you look at the Ujjain and Rohtak, uh, I'll zoom little bit out. Okay, so Earth axis is like this. So it goes like this: Meru Parvat, and will cross Rohtak, Ujjain, and goes straight to Lanka at 00. Okay, this is how it goes. Slightly curved, not like this. This is not like this. The Earth's axis is something like this. Okay, this is how the it is going. So Rohtak, Ujjain. If you draw the line Rohtak and Ujjain, straight line you draw, it is going to cross here, right in the middle, Meru Parvat. So this is, now we have our directional coordinates are set up. Now do a cross section on Hastinapur. Hastinapur is somewhere here. Can you see my cursor? Any of you just reply there and let me know. Cursor आपको दिख रहा है मेरा इधर? is right here. Okay. So now if you go that Hastinapur, now when they are moving Hastinapur, they are also not going this way or this way. They had a see Pandavas had a very good sense of direction. Maharaj Pandu also a very good sense of direction. So from here they cross the lower Himalaya, which is here, and this is Uttarakhand, you know, Uttarakhand is a new state. Earlier it was part of Uttar Pradesh. It goes here, and then they are going straight here, and you'll be. This is Kailash right here. Kailash is here, and they will go straight here, and let me just out, zoom in here. So Kailash is here. Okay, sorry, Kailash is here. Kailash is here. Kailash is on this side. Okay, this is Kailash. I can recognize from the map. This lake I saw, but this is not Kailash. Kailash is here. Okay, this is Kailash right here. Now, Kailash must be part of India because it is part of Mahabharat. If China can say that 2000 years back everything was there, just imagine this whole Tibet till all this Mongolia, Khan Tegri, everything is Bharat. So the China has to give up all this land because it was Bharat. In 1960, 1947, it was Bharat. So anyway, this is political goof ups by Indian leaders. So this is the Kailash here, and this is Hastinapur. Now they're crossing. This is Lower Himalaya. Sometimes you call Shivalik also. So the abode of Shivji, Shivalik. And then you cross over, and then you reach here, somewhere little north of here. It has to be in the straight line with this, with Kailash. Okay. So now they cross to Nagashat, Chaitrarat, Kalakut, and then cross the Himalaya ranges. Okay. And then after they reach Indradumna Sarovar, and after Indradumna Sarovar, they reach Shatashringa mountain. Okay. Shatashringa mountain. So, i- so they crossed straight here. They crossed Gandamadan mountain, you know, after Kalakut. Now, some people they say Kalakut is also in Armenia here. Kalakut mountains are here too. Like if you search Kalakut, then you'll find them here. That is not the place. We are talking here very close by, not very far. you know. Now, Shatashringa mountain is very important for many of us researchers who are focused on Mahabharata research. It is very important, Shatashringa mountain. So again, we'll go back here, and you'll be shocked to know, because we are all interested in this parallel. So when they cross here, this region has already gone beyond Himalaya. Himalaya is this range. Okay, this range which you see snow peaked is Himalaya. After that is before that is lower Himalaya ranges, and then there is crossing the Himalaya. So this is right from here. We say this curve is Himalaya, largest one of the largest mountain ranges in the world, and very high. And all those theories, people say it is colliding, it is increasing. There is no proof of that so far. There are proofs, some people have collated, but we go by the Puranic story of Sagar Maharaj and how they dig out the oceans. And so they reach Indradumna Sarovar. So Indradumna Sarovar, see most of the Sarovars since the ancient time, Bindu Sarovar, uh, Sarovar is still there. Man Sarovar. This is Man Sarovar. There's one is Bindu Sarovar and one is Man Sarovar. These are the Brahmaji's lakes. If you draw it parallel, it reaches here. This crossing is this mountain Kailash. If you see here, then it reaches somewhere here. It is not even reached Ladakh, but they have crossed it. Shatashinga mountain, they crossed all the Himalaya ranges. Now people may say, is it Leh? Is it Ladakh? It is. Now there is a big description about Narkasur. Like Narkasur was, when he was killed, the whole mountain range could be seen as his bones when Vishnu killed Narkasur. So I mean, that is how the geographical description is put. So if you look at these mountain ranges from a very top view, we can see them nowadays with all these maps available. It looks like a very scattered ranges, very scattered. Looks like somebody's bones are scattered. You can see all of them because it looks similar description. Like here, if you see, looks like skeletons or bones or whatever it is. This is how it's scattered, looking like. This is how they show it in the Shastra. This right over there. So Chaitranatha Masadya Kalakuta Itacha Himavantam Atikramya. Himavanta means Himalaya. Cross Atikrama Prayayo Gandamadana. So we'll we, so we'll keep Kailash on the right side. We'll follow Hastinapur. We'll go straight in towards this line, not this line, because that is going towards Meru. So it's slightly in the middle. You'll see them going, crossing. you know. Now you will see the descriptions are there in the Shatashinga mountain, and in the Shatashinga mountain, so many things you can say that the Pandavas' birth cannot be in Uttarakhand, cannot be in Kashmir, because they have to cross everything. They have to go further up. They have to cross the Himalaya. This is the Himalaya. They have to cross Himavantam. It has to cross. So generally, what they do is they go through this route, because there is a Badrik ashram also comes in the middle, Kedarnath, and this is Badrinath here, somewhere here. It's close by. Kedarnath, Badrinath. So they are following this route towards the Meru Parvat. They crossed it, and then uh, many places now we all know very well, Kailash and everywhere they have uh, Yaksha, Rakshas, Kuber's residence is there, and many people who have. There was a one visitor at my house who had just gone to Kailash and come back this year, and then he was telling me that when he went to the lake over there, he felt that there are a lot of people watching, and nobody was there. Very spiritual person, does into sadhana, and very famous businessman also. And he said he's he's thought somebody is watching. And I told him that Mahabharata has references where it shows that many uh, people are able to experience presence of Yaksh and Rakshas. And therefore you'll see air travel across all this area. And also very interesting description is there that Kuber's land is filled with lakes. Now just imagine, I'm just doing a Google map. You know, how many lakes are there? So that means because Kuber had a plane, Pushpak Viman was of Ravan, which Ravan stole, was Kuber's map. So you can see how many lakes you can see over there, all over the Tibet region. So this is Tibet is today's word name, but these earlier they were called Gandhamadan mountains, general name. You know, Kailash is not mentioned. Is Kailash is mentioned everywhere as a reference point. Like for example, if I do Badrinath, Gangotri is there, Jochimat, and let us see where is Badrinath, Gopeshwar, uh, Mahadev, and Gangotri, Badrinath, right here. And this is, let us make it absolutely north. Let us do it absolutely north. You will see Kailash and Badrinath in the same line, exactly same line. Let us go deep into that. Uh, you can. This is how scientific these are. Mahabharata is. The directions are very accurate, more accurate than, and you must be surprised how come even that time they had so much accuracy in directions. Like Kedarnath and Badrinath in the same line, and Kailash is here. You know, let us drill down into Kailash here, which you will be shocked to see. So these are the lakes over there. You see the Kailash, exactly Kailash, right? Kangri Bode Peak, which should be renamed, and it should be called Kailash. But Chinese government is, you know how it is. We cannot say anything. Becomes a political issue. Anyway, let's go back to the two-dimensional map. So that's what I wanted to show was same line, Kedarnath, Badrinath, and little north in that line is Kailash right here. Okay. And these are the two lakes from which all the major seven rivers come out accordingly. Now, north of that, because it is still under Himalaya. Now, when you cross here, this is where the Shatashringa mountains begin. Now, the description is now, and we are talking about the time when Pandavas came, which is almost between, at least we can say more than 7,000 years back, something like that, or 5,000, at least 5,000 years, you can say, which is 4,000, even Madhvacharya had said during his time. So it should be more than that because so Madhvacharya is 4,000 when he appeared. Madhvacharya came before Ramanujacharya. So if you go here, now this area right now is very dry. Okay? But the description is that uh, very green in direction from Hastinapur. Indrudumna Sarovar has to be the Shatashinga mountain has to be northeast of the Indradumna Sarovar. You know, Indradumna Sarovar is generally way north of Kailash. So it is this area. This one is Indradumna Sarovar. Generally, this is what I feel. It has to be northeast in this direction. Now, nowadays, this is Kargil, this is Ladakh, and practically unlivable areas. Today's nature, today's status. But the Shatashinga mountain somewhere will be in this area, nature refuge, because in the summers it will be very beautiful area, very green. Cannot be this desert. This desert has been there from Mahabharat time also. It is mentioned in many times the Ratsu Yagya episode that there was a desert they had to cross, but they did not cross. They went on the side like this. They went to reach Meru Parvat here. This is the boundaries of Kuru, uh, Uttar Kuru. There is a separate video on my show which you can actually watch over there. So why need this? Because most of you think Mahabharata is a fiction, is a mythology. I'm proving it. I'm just using the shloka from there, and I'm put in my book with maps. So whatever I'm telling you is already there here. So birthplace of Pandavas cannot be in Lower Himalaya, which I will cover in other show, which is the actual birthplace. So but anyway, we will just focus on Gandhamadan mountain, and we have to cross Gandhamadan mountain. That's why Gandhamadan mountain becomes a key to finding out where Pandavas were born. Now some people also put up theories like Pandavas were came from Europe. No, 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 they were born in Hastinapur. They were not. They were born and sorry, they were born in Shatashringa mountain ranges, which is somewhere here, somewhere in this area. It is not Europe, it was still Bharat, because from Hastinapur to to Meru here, it was Bharat. So Arjun goes all the way here, defeating all the kings without any opposition. The first time he meets opposition when he starts traveling towards this side, Uttar Kuru. Then he starts meeting opposition, and then he travels a whole circle, and then comes back through Himalayas back here. So Some people say, how did invaders, Islamic invaders came from there? Islamic invaders also followed the same path. Some of them came to attack here, Maharaj Dahir, they attacked here and this area, and then they went north through the river belt, which is Saraswati belt, Saraswati river path is there, and then they came here. This is the only way to come to India by anyways. So even if Chinese they want to cross the Himalayas, impossible to cross it. It's a natural protection of India. So there you have to follow the maps which are mentioned in Mahabharata. This is the path to go north. This is the path to come into India. Into India is protected from all these lands, so you have to cross the whole land from here. And the easiest way to attack India is through oceans. That's what the Europeans did. But to come through the mountains is a naturally difficult task because it's very cold and it's inhospitable and all this. Anyway, so the this area becomes Shatashringa Mountain. And so without knowing the Gandhamadan mountains, you cannot know where is Shatashringa Mountain. And we can discuss more on this. And the so Nagashat, Chaitraratha one, Kalakut. So if we so these general names, commonly known names. Yeah. So all of these ranges in that order. Nagashat, Chaitrarat, Kalakut. So all those ranges. So this is again we are going back to the two rivers here. Nagashat, you have to go this way, you have to go this way, and then this way. This is the path. So Nagashat, Chaitrarat, Kalakut, so all coming before the Himalaya. Then cross the Himalaya. And then we go to Gandhamadan mountains. So this is how it goes. So interesting thing is that most of these mountains like Kalakut kingdom, now Kalakut is the name given to even even today there is a Kalakut in Armenia. So how did they get the name? So what they're doing is whenever the travelers are going from India to other places, they're putting the names over there, just like anything which happens today. Like when you have, when the Europeans came to India, they put some random Dalhousie name in the northeast, Dalhousie. You know, now they used to call it Bombay. Bombay was never the name. Mumbra. That's how the name has changed to Mumbra Devi. The whole state they call it Bombay, not Mumbai. It was the whole state was called Mumbra Devi. Uh, because in Mumbra, because the deity in Mumbai is Mumbra Devi, so it became. But they used to call the whole state as Bombay Presidency. So and the whole southern India was Madras because they could not understand anything. So when people from here are traveling to other places, they are putting the same name Kalakut over there. You know. So and also if you look at the Ratsu Yagya, which is covered in detail in this book of mine, you'll see the return path of Ratsu Yagya of Arjun, which is again coming from like going north and then coming south other way. You'll be surprised to know that most of the directions and the geographical areas mentioned in Mahabharata is accurate. If that is accurate, that means the story is very real. How did they know everything else? And how did Vyasdev know exactly how does the land formation looks like, where the deserts are? Nowadays we can see we don't need any yoga drishti here. We can just watch the Google Earth. So the it's a verifiable information, verifiable information, and it's a factual information. There is no makeup of stories here. So now Shatashringa mountain is where Pandu Maharaj, Draupadi, and Pandu Maharaj, Kunti, and Madri lived. Now Madhya Desh I will cover in a separate topic because I want to take your questions and discuss with you. And Sundays are the only sessions where I do live. All the shows are also live, but not in India. They're live in only in the US. So I'm going to cover great details about Pandu in his in like because if you don't understand Pandu, you will not understand Pandavas. Just like if you don't understand the Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, you will not understand Kaurava. And Mahabharata is the only book which teaches you everything that is needs to be known and something beyond. Like for example, I was recently Jaishankar spoke, Indian foreign minister spoke on Mahabharat. And very fascinating to hear what he was saying. And he was giving his own commentaries on that. So Vyasdev also has an opinion. So we all want to give our opinion, but we don't want to collect Vyasdev's opinion. That is a very difficult thing. So if you want to hear, he's the first person recording it, Ganesh is writing it. Some people even have doubt, how did Ganesh write Mahabharata? Well, Vyasdev says so. It's written in the book, and people have doubt. How can he himself say that? Who else will say it? My question to them. Who else? There's nobody else. So Brahma is verifying it, and so the Vyasdev's version becomes authoritative. And if you think Vyasadev is not accurate, then stop reading Vedas, stop reading Mahabharata, stop reading everything else, because all the Veda are written by Vyasadev and his disciples. They were available before, but for Kali Yuga, they are put into writing over there. So I'll take you into detail into Kailash, and how the Kailash reference is very important, because it from the directional point of view, everything is related from Kailash point of view or Meru Parvat point of view. Both are equally important. So I'll stop here with my presentation, and I can, if you have any questions, then please let's talk about it. Manish Kharb is saying Hathras hi Hastinapur. No, no, no. Hastinapur is a separate city. But yes, it is close by, close by. You know. And then please have relevant topic questions you ask me, because then it will make it worthwhile discussion. Okay. Uh, This question has been asked to me many times. I am music. Is there any story Pandavas ate meat of his dead body? No, no, no. Pandu Maharaj, Pandavas were so. Let me tell you, it's in my book also. Till the time Arjun Yudhishthir was 16, Pandu Maharaj was there. So Pandu Maharaj gave all his training, gave training to his children, and Pandu Maharaj was already in a Vanaprastha ashram. Vanaprastha means that he had renounced all the worldly pleasures, including he was eating only once a day. So there is a description about Pandu Maharaj. He did tapasya, very strong tapasya. So Pandu Maharaj was eating once a day, and he was mostly living on, like it is mentioned, Ekena Kuru Vakshemas Kulasya Jagatas Sata. Tadejkam Kulasyarthe Gramasyarthe Kulam Tajit. So he had voluntarily left his family, his village, everything he had left, and his only purpose in life was moksha. And generally, Pandu Maharaj, there is no Pandu Maharaj was a very pure personality, but very strong warrior. He is compared to Dushyant. Dushyant's son Bharat. So Pandu Maharaj is considered in valor to them, even though he had a pale complexion. Means he was pale. You all know what I mean by pale is. So he had a pale complexion, but he was very tall, very strong, very masculine. That's the qualities of Pandu Maharaj. Pandavas also carried the same thing. Pandavas, the reference is generally, their food is kand, mool, phal, ahar. And I verified from multiple places in Mahabharata. And I could not, and there is a reference there of fruit pulp. Fruit pulp is also known as mass. Na hinasyati, which is obtained not by violence. Means fruits also dropped. So that is a reference. So how can they eat meat? So don't get into that propaganda. People don't know. If you don't know Sanskrit, or if you don't want to research, collect multiple references, not just one reference. So my principal sources is Mahabharat itself and Bhagavad Puran, and sometimes I refer to Skanda Puran and other Puran also. But it's humanly not possible to read all of them. So one or two, three books you can. Anyone who says I read all the Veda, not correct, not accurate. Because first of all, you won't understand Veda. There are people who understand Veda today. It's not that they don't understand. but easier to understand Veda through Vedanta Sutra. It's also called Brahma Sutra. It's in 13th chapter of Gita. Krishna talks about Brahma Sutra, and easier to understand Brahma Sutra is through Bhagavad Puran. Please list the Puranas, oldest to newest. I am music. Do your own research. This is my homework to you. So next time you come to me, do your research. This is your work. I can give you, but you have to do your own research. Uh, Gandhamadan, very good question. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishna. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Yagya Sankirtana Prajanti Sumedha. That's a shloka you have put over there. Na? Okay. The significance of Gandhamadan is the mountain ranges full of fragrance. And also that second reference is so there are valley of flowers in Lahore Spiti. They all come under Gandhamadan. It's a big mountain range, Gandhamadan. So in Uttarakhand, I don't know why Uttarakhand is roaming in my brain. That's what I'm saying. In Uttarakhand also there is a reference. There are many places. If you go to north of Badrik Ashram, then there are valley of flowers there. Even today you can see that. And so these are all called Gandhamadan mountains. So thank you for asking that question. I did not answer that question. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishna. The exact on which Hanumanji resides. Kadali one, and I'm going to cover in the next video because it's going to be long, and I don't want videos to be my personal videos to be very long. Absolutely, Manish Kharbji, please read that. Please read that. So the biggest success of writing these all these proofs is when I give you these proofs from my books is that you will be inspired to read Mahabharat. My next book on Yoga Sutra will be inspire you to do yoga. Uh, During the exile period, today is Himachal Pradesh. So understand one thing: all the Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Kashmir, they're all come under the mountain ranges, which are known as Kalakut, Chitraratha. So this was the ancient names. So Kalakut, Nagashat, Chaitrarath, Kalakut. These Sanskrit names given. All of them come under that range. So many states come under that range, including some parts of Afghanistan and Iran also. You can say that. What is the and Shranga Mountain, Shatashringa Mountain? Shatashringa Mountain is after Gandhamadan Mountain. Shatashringa Mountain ranges is where Pandavas are born. We'll do another show on that. It's in my book in detail. Sir, I want all your videos in Hindi language. Request you use language translators. Tejveer, it's a big problem because when I speak in Hindi, people say speak in English. When I speak in English, speak in Hindi. Last Sunday I did in Hindi and I got a lot of feedback to say in English. Okay, because some of the kids don't understand Hindi in the US. So I'm doing this week, I'm doing this. I'll cover the same show in Hindi next week. I'll try to do that and add a little bit more. Okay. Uh, uh, Pranam Aditya is just remember the pay and UPI can't take my ID. How can I pay and be a member? And Nireshi, try again. Many people are members from India. Try again, please. Try again. And use your real names. Otherwise, I don't know who I'm talking to. Uh, do you have any real picture of Arjun? So Anshu Singh, Anshu, read my book Yudhishthir Prana of Dharma, available in India from kapoth.in. Or if you are in the US or other country, you just read the book Yudhishthir, Samrat Yudhishthir, the greatest emperor, and you will find details of how they looked. Just to give you an example, Arjun was very tall and he was considered very fair, but he was dark because of sun. He was always in the sun. That's why. I have no understanding what questions you're asking. I don't understand. Rajan Singh, I don't understand. And so what you have to do is Some of you can become donate at the Sattology at the YouTube, or you can become a member at patreon.com/Sattology. You can become member at Patreon. So even though if this is not working, you can become member at patreon.com. It's I think scrolling /Sattology. We need members because as our preaching is growing and our activities and our education is growing, so Sattology is like a temple, Hindu temple in North America. It's a religious non-profit. So we only engage in these kind of things. As it is growing, we need a lot of expense also growing. So you can support over there. And that is not my main focus. I should not be even saying that. But anyway, become a member, support us on Twitter, become a followers. That is very important because these are the kind of discussions help you in building your identity and becoming stronger in your practice of dharma. Because this is the only future. Sanatan Dharma never dies out. It is the only future of the world, and it is also the only present of the world. So the world is being maintained because there are followers of Sanatan Dharma on this planet. Rest everybody else is exploiting the planet. They're digging the earth for oil, for gold, for no benefit. Whatever we get from earth has to be offered to Varaha, the husband of Bhumi, Bhumi Devi. So you cannot take everything for ourselves. So the world is being exploited right now. So only future of the world or the present of the world is Sanatan Dharma. People like you who are following Sanatan Dharma are the real assets to the Devata. So do your yajna regularly. That is reducing. Preeti Unyal, thank you so much. Our focus is same, like minds. Sandeep ji, Nilesh ji, Abhijit, all of us, like minds. Uh, Harsh Patil, world looks in Ramayana Mahabharata times. You are not reading the books, Harsh Patil. Every book has all these details. So please get that book for yourself. Okay, it is available at Global Footprint of Ramayana. Please read that. Without reading, you won't understand. So asking question is important, but following the answer is also important. You can not just keep asking questions and don't follow it. How many of you do Harinam every day? Make it a habit. It's as important as having breakfast and lunch and dinner. Make a habit. And when you follow, then you start. Most of these things in Mahabharata and Ramayana won't be revealed to you without following it actually in your own life. Otherwise, your mind will always give you trouble. You will suddenly start fighting with people, suddenly become unhappy, suddenly this. You cannot practice another dharma after that. If you want to be a warrior, learn from Arjun. You know, Arjun, how does Arjun work? Arjun is actually very balanced person. Very all the five Pandavas are very balanced. This whole book is about the five of them. All the book and very balanced. If you are not balanced, how can you'll jump like a frog in the well. You'll get carried away sometimes by this YouTube video, that YouTube video, or Facebook or Quora, because there is no sadhana you have. There's no stability. You'll fight with your own teachers. You'll fight with your own shiksha guru, and you'll prove them wrong, or try to at least. You won't get past it, but prove them wrong because your mind is playing games with you. Understand, problems are everywhere. It's not just in your life. Problems are in my life too. I'm also human. My knowledge is, I always say, is sadhana also, but mostly bookish. But we are seeing the world from the eyes of Mahabharata and Gita, Ramayana. So analysis is mostly accurate because we are not doing from Netra Chakshu analysis. I don't watch YouTube videos to make my discussions on analysis on something. I use Bhagavad Gita to guide me. So if you want to understand the world, read the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You'll understand what is going on today. Then you can make proper solutions. Otherwise, you'll keep jumping. Isne ye bola, usne ye bola, isne kiya. That's why we have the course, 12x debunking mythology course. Once I finish my book, I'm going to start again that course. So don't worry. Harsha K, do you have any plans to visit Australia? I can visit. I'm going to Brazil shortly, but if you Brazil, Chile, I'm with His Holiness Aturan Swami. Brazil, Chile, Bolivia, I will be there. But if you want to invite me, just let me know and I'll come to Australia. I've been to Australia many times before. Alps A. You can see this global footprint of Ramayana. It is also visible uh, on the. There's a question here. Global footprint of Ramayana and okay, here the famous five. It's on Sattology. So search Sattology on Amazon. You'll see all the books. And Australia has paperback. You get paperback in Australia from my books. Sattology on Amazon. You'll see all my books over there. One question is: can humans survive without malechia quality? How can it survive? You see what is being done by the humans. The biggest cause of climate change is meat industry, transportation. It's not just meat industry, transportation also included, and all the stocking. You need big air conditioned containers to transport meat, and you need a lot of land to kill animals. So this is the major cause. So the human being is the malecha qualities destroy the planet. Rakshas, these are called Rakshas. Rajan Singh, read my books. I've read mentioned in detail. Many books have this topic, but I can just tell you briefly. There are 14 planetary systems and three that divide into three categories: upper, middle, lower. Earth is the middle. Om Bhur Bhuva Swah. Swah means Swarg. Absolutely. Preeti Unyal, I'll do that. This is a good topic. Ma Durga and our universe will do that. Western Ghats. Ask Sadev. Sadev conquered Western Ghats. Gokarna. He went to Gokarna, which is Goa today. When Bharat was traveling by reaches Gautam Rishi ashram. Okay, anyway, Bhagwan Ram can eat the whole world. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. But what he likes is Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prachiti. Bhagwan Ram, Eto Vishnu Pathavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda Natha. When he breathes in, all the universes enter in Vishnu. So Eka Nishvasita Kala Mathavalambya. All the Brahman exists for one breath of Vishnu. One breath. Okay. He can, so all the planets go in any way. So what is the problem? But in Valmiki Ramayana, there is no reference where Bhagwan Ram ever consumed or killed any animal for food. I can give you proofs, or you can read my book, One Arrow, One Kill, which is available in the Western world, and in India it's called Global Footprint of Ramayana. And watch our shows. There's a beautiful show with Jeevan Rao, Nilesh Okji's shows you can watch. There's a playlist of Jeevan Rao and Nilesh Ok. You can watch them. There are a lot of instances there. You can watch over there. Nilesh Okji has done a fabulous work with the scientific explanation. Fabulous work. When I praise somebody, I praise with my heart. So it's not something just to show off on YouTube. And the Mumbra Devi. Mumbai is different. Anyway, this is Rama Bharat and his army. When Bharat reaches Rishi, and then okay. Anyway, so thank you all very much and for joining, and I'm very happy all of you joined, and I'm really grateful that all of you asked some good questions. And I'll take one last question, Abhishek Gupta. Bhavishya Puran does not contain period today's world. Is it true? Understand, Puran is a very vast. Purans is the actual history, may not be from our times, can be from a previous kalpa also, can be from previous kalpa, previous manvantara. So its a time scale is big in Puran. Understand that. For our reference, Bhagavad Puran is the most Current, but it also has reference Jambudweep also. Jambudweep in a interconstellatory world, not in this world. So this one question is, I don't know why it's coming good vibes, good vibes. I have no idea. How many Meru Parvat on how many Meru Parvat on Earth? Only one Meru Parvat on Earth, but there is a description in Bhagavad Puran about Sumeru, about the whole world revolving around that Sumeru. And you'll be shocked to know Native Americans always thought that there is an ocean beneath the earth and there is a tortoise. On top of it, the earth is situated. Kurma avatar. That is Native Americans' point of view. So I'm just saying the whole world is Sanatan Dharma. We should not be scared, but we need to do more preaching. Get trained and tell others about it assertively, and don't argue. We talk assertively. We stand back on our proof, and we are not into debates, because debate means you don't understand anything. We are not here to prove anybody wrong either. We are just saying, Vyasadeva said this. Do you believe in it? Do you like it? Or if you don't have to believe in it, what Vyasadeva said. You have to use your own brain to understand. You have to do research. All right. So we'll end here. And thank you all very much. And those of you who want to contribute or join the membership, you can join on patreon.com, as well as try to subscribe the videos, share the videos, because we don't promote it much. Most of our viewership is organic. 99%, well, mostly 99%. 1%, some keywords here and there. Namaskar and thank you. Jai Shri Ram and Jai Jagannath.